And it's funny because that does go into dating. Like, you do have to get out your comfort zone when it comes to dating. Well, some people say, yeah.
Do you think women have to get out their comfort zone more than men, or vice versa, or kind of works the same, both?
I think both. I definitely think both. I think, and it depends what are your intentions when you're dating. Because, like, some people just do it to do it. And so if you're just doing it to do it, you can kind of just flow through it, just showing up. But I think when you have intention behind it, you do get a little nervous. You do get a little like, all right, let me, because this might be it, you know? So I don't know.
I don't believe in dating anymore.
Why?
I didn't even tell you that. Because yesterday, even when we were talking about it, I don't believe in dating.
Why?
I don't believe in dating. I don't think it serves any purpose. Like, what does dating do?
I feel like dating allows you to get to know the person.
But do you all right, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet the person for the first time and you draw your conclusions on them, like, you know, when you're finishing up with the date, who they are, what type of person they are, their morals, values, all these different things. Do you think you learn more about them as you date, or do you think it's all just a front, you know, with somebody trying to impress you, and then eventually the real person's going to come out?
Okay, so here's my thing. I think that the first time, everybody has, like, kind of a representative, right? But it also depends on, like, what kind of date you're doing. I don't always believe that, like, a first date the second date needs to be this, but the first date should be a coffee shop, somewhere where you're talking, getting to know the person, meeting that representative. But I think a good second date is always like an interactive date. So if you're like axe throwing or bowling or something, because you want to see how they are in a competitive, you know, kind of seeing are they competitive? Are they just going to let you win because you're a girl? You know, like all those different kind of things, and like see how they shit talk, or, you know what I mean? Like things where you can really get to know them. I don't necessarily think that you can always get that by just hearing what somebody has to say constantly, just sitting down talking. I like interactive dates.
All right, so this is why I don't think dating, because you're dating, you're going to learn somebody, right? To learn how, like, who the person is, what their beliefs are, to see if y'all are compatible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think women know how to do that.
What do you mean?
I don't think women were taught how to choose men. Not to say that men weren't taught, or that men were taught to choose women, but I don't think women do a good job of choosing men. Like with dating, I believe that the more you date somebody, if you like them, then you'll pretty much rationalize everything else. As soon as you like somebody, you start rationalizing maybe certain red flags here and there, certain things that don't necessarily align with what you're looking for, but you like the person. You're more emotional, so therefore emotions are always going to factor into your decisions rather than looking at it logically, which in my opinion, those are going to be the relationships that I would say work out the best. So,
okay, to your point, I think that like it goes back to if you're dating with intention, like there's lists. Like I know women have like lists, right? Not all women, but a lot of women who are really intentional. I hear about all these lists, all these questions, all these different things they want to know so that they can kind of gain a deeper understanding of the person. So I do know women who do that. But I do agree to your point that if you like somebody, you do dismiss some things. But I think that's easy to do if you don't date the person or if you don't really get to see them in more of a casual setting. Because, like, what's the alternative? Like, what are we doing if we're not dating? Like, what is it that's happening?
All right. So, yeah, that's a good point, actually. I just was talking to somebody. Like, you can't shit on something and then not have something to replace it.
Right.
But I got something to replace it.
Okay.
This is going to sound real traditional and conservative, but I think, I'm not saying that men have to choose for, like, let's say their daughter, their niece, or their sister, but I think men should be, their voice should be very involved, or their thoughts should be very involved, their feedback. They should be involved in that process, because I can sit down with a guy, like let's say you're dating a guy. Mm-hmm. That guy's going to say and do whatever it is to get to whatever his goal is. His goal may be to have a happy relationship and family. But in the moment where a lot of things I feel like go is like, I'm trying to chill with her tonight. I'm trying to just kick it. I'm trying to just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, from a short term. They're thinking more short term. So when you do that, and even to be able to decipher whether or not a guy is thinking long term or short term, the guy's just going to be able to lead you in whatever direction and tell you whatever it is that you want to hear in order to get you to wherever it is they're trying to get to. Mm-hmm. So with that, I don't think women are taught to decipher between when a dude's telling the truth and when a dude's not. However, that same dude that is selling you the game, finessing you maybe, whatever, I can sit down with that dude and I feel like within 5 minutes, just a man talking to another man, recognize what type of guy that is, what they're on, what their goals are, and learn more about them in 5 minutes than you could on 5 dates.
So here's the thing. I partially disagree, right? Because I feel like we know when somebody is bullshit. Like, for real. And for me, like I said, it comes back down to motives. Like, what is our motives? And that's something that, like, as somebody who's dating, like, what are my motives? What are my intentions? If I meet this guy, depending on where I meet him, how did he approach me? How did things, all those different things we have to assess. Because sometimes it can be like, damn, he just looks good and I'm going for it. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes it can be just that. Or sometimes it can also be, all right, let me just see because I'm bored. So that, I think sometimes, again, checking your motives and your intentions. But I also have a habit of, I meet a guy, I'll tell my friends, like, oh, I met this guy, da, da, da. And then 2 days later, I'll be like, yeah, forget his name, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? So I think if I had the opportunity to be like, okay, I went on like a few dates, he's cool, I'm feeling it, now check him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think I would need a few dates to know. But I think
so
also
a few dates, and you bringing the guy you like around your homegirls?
No, not
around your
my
homegirls.
But I just feel like even if I was to take your approach to introduce him to a guy in my life or a father figure or whatever, I would need to I would have to explore that a little bit before I brought him.
Why wouldn't you bring him around your homegirls?
Okay, so certain ones can handle it. Like, everybody knows Dominique. Dominique's my best friend. She's cool. She's chill. She'll tell me later. But, like, I got some friends that'll be like, ah. And I don't even like all that. Or,
like, trying to take your man. If it's a good man, there's not a lot Here's
the thing. I'm probably the only one out of my crew who ain't got nobody. So it's pretty interesting. I feel like, it would be dope. Like, I have certain friends that I would introduce the guy to, and certain friends I'd be like, not yet. I gotta like you first. To where, like, her opinion, may not matter.
But going back to it, let's say that, like, how do you know if it's a good guy or not? How do you know if the guy's just telling you what you want to hear, selling you a dream? Like, how do you know?
Actions.
What if the actions are right? What if that's easy nowadays? We 30-something years old. It's not like when you're 20 and the dude gonna just pick you up and just be like, yo, you trying to come through? Like, I don't know. Like, It's not like...
Okay, so...
You know what I'm saying? Like, a dude's gonna... Okay, I'll give her flowers. And matter of fact, based on what you just said, if you only go by actions, that means all I have to do is do these certain things, and she's gonna think that I'm on her. She's gonna think that I'm looking for a relationship.
But here's the thing, though. Men's attention span is but so long. So if their goal is to just smash or whatever, they ain't stretching past 5 dates. They're not. They're just not.
5 dates?
They're not even. I'm just using.
Who going on 5 dates?
I'm just saying.
They got 5 dates?
They're not.
5 dates?
Listen, I got stories. But I feel like they're not going to go past, maybe 3, we'll give it 3. Like, they're not going to go past a certain amount of dates without letting their motive show, because the attention, like, if they text you every day, after they're not getting what they want after 3 dates, they're going to they're going to stop texting. Oh, my bad, I got caught up. Now I'm busy. They show themselves eventually. But then also, too, I think that in the dating process, how is, like we talked about yesterday, somebody listening. You know what I mean? Like, you could just bring me flowers, but if I never said I liked flowers, then you might feel weird. Like, what if I'm allergic? You know what I'm saying? So if you just bringing it just to think you're doing the right thing.
Oh, my God.
You're not paying attention to what I'm saying. You're not asking the right questions. I think the pandemic helped too. Virtual dating is a lot easier than actually having to like get out, go somewhere and waste your time. So like face-to-face virtual thing, like that's kind of dope too, because they don't really feel committed. I could I don't know, you see them in their home setting, you can see what's the background looking like. Do it look clean? Do it look dirty? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I think that getting to know somebody is something that we need to take more, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to get to know somebody before we introduce them to anybody. That's one. And then also, too, you do learn things. You do learn through actions. So I feel like dating is necessary.
Easy. You sound like you be the perfect target to just get finessed.
No.
A little action, somebody first up. And back to the flowers. If you are allergic, you better take those damn flowers anyway and appreciate them. And not let me know you allergic, or at least let me know later on down the line. I don't know.
I think if you, but that's the thing. Like, you can ask, you can ask questions to get to know somebody. And so you can go on Pinterest and be like, what questions do I ask on a first date? I think even a guy who would go as far to do that is being a little more intentional. Now, I could get finessed, right? But I'm a firm believer that men who are on bullshit show themselves very early.
All right.